side to the top of an L, which is not the nicest formation. So there are other variations. There are things called a long L, which is easy to get to from a G. So we might see some of that, but then you've got to throw into the mix that you have this entire slot switcher with the 10, block 10, that we're going to see that can throw it up for the teams.
So the girls here now from Norway, we were chatting, well I was chatting with some of their mothers a few moments ago. They're watching the action intently, very proud to see their family here in competition. It's good to have a four-way team from Norway here in the international competition.
Oh, it is good. My Norwegian family, is like to call them. I've been spending a lot of time in Norway, and I know these girls quite well, and I know the mums quite well actually, mums and dads. They're a good little bunch of flyers. They've been flying together for some time, and they're now just trying to get into that, you know, the senior category, trying to take on that maturity and just compete on the big stage. The Vosvin girls.
Here they are in Puria Brava, Spain, and they are on the big stage indeed. What was their overnight score? Have you just got the scores in front of you there?
Yeah, just the scores in front of me. They scored 13 on round 6. So I'm not entirely sure my maths is going to go to pot here. So
89 in total is
yes.
their points. 89 for the Vosvin girls out of our 3 teams. Next in MFTO on 152, and in front of them the French with 180. Here is the girls from the UK.
Here we go. Let's see what engineering NFTO will take into this. Let's have a look. So we're starting with a standard G. Anna giving the key there, G. And they're taking it standard. There we go. So now you can see that Kath with a blue weight belt steps into the middle. So there's the slot switcher for the front piece. And now she'll be moving back to the outside. So she's moving to the point slot again. So it is very tricky for the teams that aren't trained, because the front piece is always slot switched here. Here we go. They're executing really well, taking it completely standard. This is some of the best flying I've seen from NFTO in some time. This lineup probably has a lot of prospects to it. They seem to enjoy changing slots. They're out of time there, and I think they're really gelling well as a team, which is nice to see.
Very good morning to Magda watching in Poland. Jim Dobry and Anthony Andrews down in Wales is watching as well on the live stream. Do send us a message, guys. Let us know what you're enjoying, or any information you want us to clarify for you, or any more detail about how the competitions operate and how they run. We'll do our best to keep you informed. Wimby, French girls are next up. Visors down into the door for the launch of this next round.
Morning, Ant. Anthony flies at I Fly, just giving him a big shout out. Okay, French girls, and they're in. There's a block 10, and they're taking the long L, the one I mentioned earlier. So from the end of this 10 to the G, there you go. Which is, it does make it faster, but it does require some a little bit of finesse, but these girls are putting it on very well. Go G to the L. To Q so fast. There's a G to the L, E, Q, 10, and they're building a slightly different Q as well, which is good. I mean, you can see that this flows really well for them. They're on and off the grip so fast. That was an amazing round from the French girls. Well done, and it took a round of applause from the audience.
So we're going into the open category next, Ray.
We are indeed. Our judges are trying to keep up with the scoring.
Just getting the scores on screen. Now, we've got a few teams that have been scored already. The top ones haven't, but a little block there in 3 and 4. Joint 4th place currently on 192 points. Airheads and Echo Chamber. And above them, I Fly Moscow on 197. So that's a couple of the teams there that we've got some scores. We'll update you as they come through.
So for the VFS, we had just to recap on the scores on round 7, we did comment on it that the Skyriders had a bit of an issue on the second page of round 7, and that's reflected in the scores. So they've got 17 on round 7, but Esercito got 18 on round 7, so just beat them by 1 point. Back to the open. So we have Los Puristos in the tunnel, one of the French teams.
With a very Spanish-sounding name.
You've got to ask them about that, really.
Yeah. 1-3-1 is their current points after the 6th round scored.
Taking it nice and steady for that block 10. There we go, and they're out of time.
Got themselves a 14 on the last round, Ray.
That's pretty impressive, actually.
Just looking at some of the other scores, we've got B Air Force with a 13, Brohors Annecy with a 14, the Four Cretins with a 12.
I mean, considering Los Puristos got 13 on round 6, which is a straight-up triple blocker, and they got a 14 on round 7, which was a triple blocker but with a slot switcher. So they've done a very good job.
So B Air Force now with their next round, 109 points after the 13 on the last round, 6 points scored, 109. That's where they're at.
Okay. The 10. This is the one that slot switches the front piece. So the point and the outside center do slot switch if you take it standard. Q to the 10. Here we go. So blue helmet is now moving from, oh no. So they're taking a different L, a different G, I should say. So here we go.
Very good morning to Osamu Azadi, who's joined us on the live stream. Hope you are going to enjoy a few moments of the action. If you want to catch up with any of yesterday's action, it's available to rewatch on window-realfly.com. You can check out there.
Yeah, so these guys, the team that we just saw in the tunnel did actually take a variation of the engineering. They took a different L with the outside center stepping onto being the back of the formation on that L. So let's see what we see coming up. We've got the Four Cretins coming in now, and I think we're going to see a variety of engineering as this meet progresses. Start with a G. Yeah, they're also taking the outside center, stepping out to the back to take the L. Okay, and then stepping at the front of the L. There we go, even change so they took a different first page to the rest of the pages that they're taking now. Which is very interesting. I mean, we do see this in the air sometimes, that you take, because there are only so many exits out of an aircraft that you can actually do and train, that you will take a standard exit with a standard set of formation out of the plane with slightly longer moves for the first page, and then change it for the second page, which means obviously you have additional things to remember, but it means the flow of the dive going forward is much better. And I think this is what the Four Cretin have done on this, but inside the tunnel.
Ray, I'm just outside the tunnel now with NFTO's Debbie Lambsmere. Hello, Debbie.
Hello.
How are you enjoying the competition?
Yeah, absolutely. It's amazing. I love this competition. I like to come every year if I can.
What about that little slot switcher at the front there?
Well, my girls, Anna and Catherine, they did an amazing job. So luckily for me, I'm tail, so I didn't have the memory on that dive.
I'll let you go and get some refreshments. Always good to catch up with you, Debbie. Back to you, Ray, in the studio.
In the tunnel now, we have Team Barak. Okay, we're having a really good competition. I should catch up with them afterwards to find out if it's gone how they would expect it to go. They were in about 19th place. And they scored 14 on round 6 and 15 on round 7. Again, outscoring round 7, outscoring round 6, which I find really interesting because it does have a slot switcher in it. But the block 3, you know, if you've got two relatively good flyers on the front, even if you're slot switching the 3, you have a solo flyer and a piece. It's a relatively quick block, as opposed to the blocks we saw in round 6, which are 22 and 13 can be quite tricky. Barak in now with the round GLEQ10, just out the door.
And I'm just outside the tunnel now, Ray, with Mr. Growls, the proud father of half of Hayabusa. And you must be a very proud man right now.
I'm very proud.
You're always there at the meets, you're always watching your lads in competition?
Yes, I hope I go so much as I can with the guys. to see the
They've won a lot of championships now. It's over 20 indoor, isn't it?
I think this one will be 22.
Mr. Alex Kraus, thank you very much for your time. Back to you, Ray, in the studio.
So in the tunnel we have the herbivores. I'd say I had an interesting round on round 6 and 7 again. They scored 13 on round 6 and 14 on round 7. So outscoring the straight up triple blocker with a slot switch triple blocker. And the scores, the judges are on point today. They're trying to get through as much of the judging as they possibly can. They started really early as well, with all of you at home watching. Here at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock in the morning. And that's Team Herbivores. So next in we should have Papaya Mixto, who Regan managed to catch up with the Papaya team just outside the tunnel as they were coming out.
Hey, Ray, I'm just outside with one of the big organisers of the event, Anne Maxwell. Hi, Anne.
Hey Regan, how are you?
I'm great, thanks. Wing Games, is this the 5th one?
Yep, it's the 5th one.
Every time you step it up a little bit, it's always something new. This year, these explanation videos are amazing.
Yeah, we've been developing all different kinds of new stuff each year, and this year it's really important with such a big audience that we can explain everything to them.
And Vera with those little, she's done a great job presenting those, hasn't she?
Yeah, I think she has a new career.
I asked her, I said, were you using auto cue? She says, no, I just in my head.
I think she went on about another 10 minutes after the video finished as well.
Thanks very much, and I'll let you get back to work. I know you're very, very busy. Spanish television are here as well. They're going to be doing their bit in a moment. And back to you, Ray, in the studio.
This is just Papaya Mixto just finishing up their dive. Oh, some confusion there on where I should go for the tail on block 10. G, here we go. There's the L, yeah, so we're seeing this a bit more from some of the teams. So the outside centre going from the G to the back of the piece for the back of the formation for the L. So close to the 10, G, and you can see pushing back and takes a grip on the inside centre flyer, the point flyer.
What about the next two rounds, Ray? 9 and 10. Any kind of thoughts on them?
Could be fast. I mean, round 9 is 6:20. Not, they're not particularly slow blocks, so it could be pretty good. Let's see. And then you've got a random in there as well with a random H, which is a nice easy random for everybody. I don't think it's pretty much straight up. Those train teams are going to do really well on this round. I'll put it at maybe early 30s. Who knows?
Holding Parachute Systems now with their overnight score of 148. They started very strong. How has their competition been, Ray?
Their competition's been up and down. I think they had a really poor round 2, and this is probably from over exuberance and just trying to push themselves faster than they can actually fly. And they got 7 busts on round 2, which is a real shame because they're a very nifty team. I think the one thing that they're going to have to learn is just to make sure they build up the pace a little bit rather than trying to get it out the door as soon as they get out the door or into the tunnel.
I mean, they had a good round 5, 40 points. A lot of teams were scoring high there, but they were kind of the most of the pack with 20 odds and 30, early 30s. That 40 was a good round for them.
Yeah, no, it's really good. I mean, they're currently in the 9th, 10th place and doing really, really well. They're really chuffed with their flying. And they've been doing a lot of training, and I'm sure that we can see some good things from these guys going forward.
Very good morning if you're watching on the live stream. Yesterday, over 50,000 individual views on the presentation we had with a 14-hour live stream. Next up, we have this big unit team from Russia are in the door, lined up and ready to go, Ray.
They are indeed. They did really well on round 7. They scored 23 on round 7, 21 on round 6. And these guys are very solid flyers. Let's see what engineering they're taking. And they're taking standard engineering. No, hold on, let's have a look. Close the 10. G, L, E, Q, 10. No, they're not. Of course they're not. This is... It's hard to see, but it looks like they're they're taking standard engineering, but they're really not. So they're actually switching the end of the G that they do. And this is what I love about the Russians. They've always got something different.
Yeah, they're always a surprise, especially when we see Black Cat. Team Black Cat, I wonder where they are right now. What's going on with them?
So maybe they'll message us and let us know. But I love this. So it took me 4 pages to watch what the Russians were doing. And then even then I couldn't figure it out.
After 7 rounds on 197 points. And we've still got the scores of Hayabusa and Arizona Airspeed to be put on the screen there.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing those scores. I mean, I think to me, Hayabusa definitely looked the stronger team on round 7. Matt, Pajama Puma's getting ready to get into the tunnel.
These are all skydivers as well, Greg.
Of course they are, yeah. These guys are all... I don't know many teams in the UK that are just indoor.
Is there any just indoor teams in
we
the UK?
had Volition. Oh dear, I'm not sure what happened there. They took that very slowly, that launch. But Volition, they're an indoor team. So this is Kate Lindsay, flies with Volition. Mainly some ex-world champions in there with Nutty and Claire.
VMAX, the first British champions with that gold medal for the first female formation team.
That's right,
Yeah.
yeah, Nutty and Sparky. And Sean, obviously, is part of that team as well. They're mainly an indoor team, but Sean and Kate fly a lot outdoors. But Kate's been doing a lot of coaching recently. She's pulling up, she's like really handing on what she's learnt from her time with Andy or any of the others from Hayabusa. She's done a lot of time with different coaches recently, and she taught me a few things on Block 12, which I really appreciated. And it's really good to see how she's bringing up and coming flyers in the UK.
Yeah, she's a great person as well. Always got a smile, always a great, fun to be around.
Yeah, no, she's a lot of fun, Kate. I did nationals with her last year, and I really enjoyed that competition. She's a very good flyer, nifty in the tunnel, nifty in the air, and a great person to be around.
I was having a chat with this team, Papia, from Spain a little bit earlier after they finished their previous round, and they're very pleased to be here. We're going to see, I think in the future, a lot more Spanish teams coming up. There's a lot of tunnels now here in Spain.
Yeah, it's good. These guys, I think they train in, we mentioned Mercia, but I think they train in Madrid Fly, I believe now as well. And yeah, we're going to see more and more Spanish teams in a variety of disciplines, I'm hoping, going forward. 3
tunnels in Madrid, another one about to open in Barcelona from here, from Windor.
Yeah, I must find out how that tunnel's, if it's ready yet. I'm quite excited about that.
I think there's one up in the northwest as well, Santander. I think there's one up there
Is
now.
there?
I think so, yeah.
Wow, should get travelling.
How many's in France now? How many tunnels are in France?
So many.
A lot, isn't it?
I wanted to go on a tunnel tour of Europe, and then I realised I didn't have enough days in the year to actually do it.
Do we know how many tunnels there is now? We were trying to guesstimate yesterday. It's over 100, isn't it, worldwide?
Yeah, got to be.
If anybody knows, send us a message. Let us know. Watching the live stream, if you know how many tunnels we've got now around the world, let us know all about that. We want to try and keep that those details up to date if we can.
There we go, just a slow-mo of Papaya Mix. So next in we have the Italian team of Wimby Legion.
And we're just looking at some scores now, Ray. Round 7 scores for the female teams are in. Voswing girls got a 12 on round 7, giving them 101. NFTO from the UK, they got a 16, so 4 points more, leaving them on 168. But at the top, with a brilliant score of 20 and a total of 200 after round 7, the French girls, Wimby French female.
And it's interesting to see because the French girls, they took slightly different engineering on that. They took a long L, which worked really well for them. I can see the point difference between them and NFTO, who took it standard, 4 points. So it's interesting to see that teams do that.
These judges are fast and rapid getting these scores online, Ray.
They are, yeah. So NFTO got 2 busts actually on that round. So they got it on the 3rd point and the 16th point, incomplete formation. And I'm not entirely sure why. I would have to go back and have a look at that.
3 judges there, Zico, Unity and Claire are our judges on the FS.
Okay, back to the Open and Wimby Legion. They scored 17 on round 7.
So we're going to go through right the way to the end of this, are we? To the finals, Ray? Is that the plan for
That's
the
the
formation
plan for
skydiving?
today.
Finish it all off here this morning, so don't miss a beat. 2 more rounds after this still to come to find out who's going to be the champions of 2018 here at Wing Games.
So it was very interesting is that just looking at these scores now. We have the Airheads. The Airheads scored a 19 on round 7. Still currently in 4th place. I don't think they had their best round on round 7. There were some issues with the 14s. I didn't really see the team speeds, but these are things that they can really work on and improving going forward. And they did have one bust on the 10th point on round 7. There we go, Team Airheads.
It's great to see the world-class action in all the disciplines that we've got here at Wing Games. Every event, we've got the best in the world, really, competing right here for you on this beautiful weekend here in Spain. Echo Chamber next on round 8 of the formation skydiving. Let's look at how they've been doing. Currently 4th place, tied with Airheads on 152 with a 21 points on the previous round of round 7. Tying up with Airheads, Swiss team with a 19. So it's just swapping backwards and forwards there, but after 7 rounds, it's 192 each. And I've just got the schedule in front of me now of what's going to be going on this morning. Let's have a look. It is currently just coming up on 9:27 here into our, well, second hour already of presentation. It's going quick. Going to take us through until 11:15 is when we start. Sorry, 11:12 is when we start with the final round of VFS, taking us through till the end of round 10, about 12:05, just before lunchtime. That's your morning schedule here. And remember, we'll do the repeat of that round of the VFS as well. Very good morning to you. Just joined us on the live stream around the world. This beautiful, green, incredibly talented team from Monaco, 13, 15 and 13 years of age. Now, this from the French Academy originally. Now the Aerocart team, and you know, 10 years from now, they'll be younger than the current world champions. I spoke to them yesterday and said, do you have any plans of sticking around to be world champions? Will you commit yourselves to that? And they said, absolutely, that's what we want to do. They want to keep going. And you can just tell by the way they fly, they're not just doing it just for the sake of it. They want to be the best. Incredible talent and energy. Seeing a lot of people now competing who've never been a skydiver, might even never be a skydiver, Ray. It doesn't necessarily flow like it used to do, that the competition teams came from a skydiving environment.
Yeah, I know. Competition skydiving. We'll see if they put rigs on their backs and want to do it out of an aeroplane. So Monica, the Aerocart junior team. Sorry, Monaco Aerocart Junior, full name. Interestingly, the junior team outscored the Monaco senior team by 2 points on round 6. So next in we have the Monaco indoor skydiving team. Ooh. I think they're on the grips there for that. There we go. G. Yeah, they're taking. It takes me a while for those at home. Everybody's got so much variety in their engineering. It takes me a while to figure out what everybody's actually doing. And every team is taking something slightly different, which makes it even more tricky for the expert sat in their seat to figure out what's going on. They're taking a variation on the L and a variation on the Q. So Monaco team, they look happy with that.
Yeah, we've got the all standard there with Jeff, 56 years of age, bringing the new generation of team in there now. 18-year-old, isn't he, one of the
Yeah,
players?
I think so. I think next time we see their names flash up, we'll just see how old they are. Next in, we have Team Jetmax from Belgium.
And Jetmax, let's have a look at where down in 15th place, 16 on round 7, giving them a current total of 1-4-3, 9 points behind Tenanine. Great scoring system here from In Time, the system from South Africa. Claire and Dirk developed that, and the standard set now for the worldwide scoring system of formation skydiving.
Yeah, it's the one that everybody wants to use, and they're trying to bring some innovation into it as well now. You can replay some of the rounds as well on the telly as you're going through. So really making it quite interactive for the audience at home and for those talking about it as well, like ourselves.
Yeah, the people that are watching, if they go to the In Time website, they can actually review and replay individual rounds. Is that right? They can see their team, what they did.
They can do, yeah, and it's great that that's accessible to you, so you can see how your teams or those that you're supporting are actually getting along.
Remember, if you've got any questions or any queries about the action here or anything you're watching, do let us know on the live stream. We've got the live stream open here on our desk, on our little device, so we can see your messages as they're coming through. So give us a shout out to all those people watching on the live stream on the Facebook Live. You can let us know you're there and we'll say hello to you. John McIver, Ada King, Peter Mather and Pete Allen now from the United Kingdom. This new lineup of this iconic team, XL.
Yeah, you've, one of the teams, if you're a UK flyer, you definitely know John and Pete very well, and you probably know Adi and Peter Taff very well. They are some very good flyers. I'm looking forward to what they do. They had a really good round in round 7. They got 20 on round 7. That was the triple blocker with the slot switch on the first block. And here we go. Let's see what engineering they take. Standard, all standard.
20 points on round 7, giving them a total of 174.
Exactly. And this is nice to see Team XL taking it all standard, just seeing how they can fly. Makes it easy for us at home to watch what they're actually doing. Again, another team that are very light on the grips, like the efficient way of flying. Good job. They'll be pleased with that one.
Yes, they will there, Ray. XL always with the different colour helmets.
I know, it makes it really easy for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I know them, but it makes it really easy for me to actually spot who's who.
So, Gavos, Wimby.
Gavroche Wimby.
With a Qatar Tigers jumpsuit on one of them.
Really?
Yeah, just you can see there the Qatar Tigers logo on the jumpsuit, the writing. Very good morning to Mrs. Watson, who's just tuned in. A very good morning to you, madam.
Good morning.
Gavas Wimby 189 after the 7 rounds with a score of 20 on the last, the same as XL.
Yes. Yeah, these this is trying to see. It's quite useful having Julien on the back just to see different colour jumpsuit. Gilles, yeah. There we've seen this from a few teams. They're taking a variation of the L. Ooh, very close there. I don't know if we saw separation there on the Q. There we go.
Lots of great action to come today. The Freestyle Open and Juniors and the two-way battles, the 4-speed and the solo speed as well. That's all coming our way. But this morning, it's all the formation skydiving right the way through to the finals, Ray.
That's true. Get your fill of formation skydiving right here.
We've got the best teams in the world, bringing you the best action. Remember, we've got the World Meet at the end of the year. Well, October, actually, not the end of the year, in Bahrain. Tenanine, next up.
They'll be hoping for a good round here to keep that average nice and high. There's Moulet's face of concentration. And they're in.
Big stops. Big
Exactly.
stops.
So they're also taking it standard, but they have a different continuity plan than we've seen from Excel previously that took the standard dive.
19
talk-
points on the previous round. 154 rate currently.
Yeah. For those at home that are watching, when we talk about continuity plans, generally when we say this, it's mainly because of the plane and the aircraft
Yes.
that you fly out of. You have right-hand doors and left-hand doors. So therefore, most Americans and UK jumpers tend to take one set of continuity out the plane. And the French jumpers and other European jumpers as well tend to take the right-hand continuity out the plane. And that's solely because of the fact that you're coming out of a plane from a different side, and you then want to start turning the blocks or the formations, not necessarily sliding down the hill. So that's just how it plays out. So when we hear about continuity plans, that's what I'm actually saying, right or left hand.
One of the main differences between the outdoor skydiving and the indoor skydiving, as Ray just hinted about there when we talk about the hill, as you leave an aeroplane, you're not at full speed yet. It takes about 7 or 8 seconds to really build up the speed so you can really get the flying going well. In the wind tunnel, as soon as you're in, you've got the full speed straight away.
You have, yeah. I mean, the nuances of the wind tunnel are solely that, as you can see here, Team Amnesia just flying in now. You come in with a tunnel entrance. It's like you're all tied up, linked up together, and as you come out into the airflow, you can get caught with a little bit of lift.
Yeah.
So there's a technique to that as well. Obviously, it's not as doesn't take as long as exiting from an aircraft, but it's a variety of an entrance.
And different tunnels have different flight characteristics. We saw in Montreal at the World Meet in November, a lot of teams were finding themselves dipping down as they came into the tunnel.
And it depends upon the airflow and where you might have certain vents or something else. Some of the older tunnels do have dead spots around the tunnel as well. There's no fault of the tunnel, it's just how it works. And teams have to get used to flying that, right? You have to get accustomed to that. Here we
That's
go.
why it's always important to get a little bit of training
Always.
at the event before. I mean, this tunnel now has been flying constantly, 24 hours for, a week? It's been
Yes.
incredible. We were talking yesterday with one of our sponsors, ABB, who manufacture the control systems for the flight and for the wind and how that do it and how they keep it going. It's incredible, really. It really does excite us here in the tunnel about that.
Yeah, I also spoke to the ABB guys about this tunnel drive because I'm intrigued. Being a physicist many moons ago, you're always intrigued about how these things actually work. And good explanation and understanding the size and how they operate and how and where they operate from a business perspective as well is quite interesting.
I think a lot of people don't realise too that this wind force, with this hurricane standard wind that's coming up through the centre of the tunnel now, which is keeping these people flying, as it comes through the engines, the turbines, it's not that powerful at all. It's just a breeze. It's going through the system of vanes and vents and the focus, which actually channels the energy.
Yeah, you pressurise and you focus the air and you can channel it, and the good thing about it is means you can feather it, you can turn it up, down, and you can figure out what you want to do with the airflow in this environment, which is what you really need to do.
Good stuff here now from Real Fly Sion, currently in. I think they're in. Let's just have a look at their placing in the system. Well, we haven't got all the scores on the screen, so we can't tell you. But 23 points on round 7 with a 212 current score.
They're currently around the 3rd place mark, and I expect them to finish there as well. So some small scores are coming in for round 7.
Yeah, we've got a round 7 score now for Arizona Airspeed and for Real Fly Sion. So Real Fly Sion with a 23, Arizona Airspeed with a 24. Now they're finishing up on 222 after 7 rounds. In the door now, the team from the Middle East, from Qatar, the Qatar Tigers.
The Tigers are in, and they scored 20 on round 7. And I'm just every round, I'm just not. I expect to see more from them. And every time I see them push it, I don't see them fly with the same confidence I've seen them fly in the past. So, not sure if they're just having a few internal glitches and just need to get back into a competitive element, which I'm hoping they will. And then we should see better things from them. I do like the closers of this block 10 though.
I mean,
Really tight.
they've been quite prolific over the last few years, attending a lot of different competitions all over the world. They're quite restricted now with the political system in
Yeah.
Qatar. That's going to affect their concentration.
Yeah, it's a real shame, you know, because they're a really nice bunch of guys. All they want to do is train and execute.
Yeah.
They want to show us what they've got, and it must be really hard.
Yeah.
It must be really hard not to be able to do that on a world stage.
Yeah, exactly. Next up, Arizona Airspeed, their score of 24 from round 7. Is that the best score we've had so far? I think it is. A lot of people around 20, a few 19s, 1 or 2 23s, but 24, definitely the best on 222. We haven't got the score yet of iBoost. We're still waiting for that one. That's where the tension starts to now build now as we move towards the final few rounds. It's America versus Europe here, Arizona Airspeed.
Here we go. This is going to be a fast round from Airspeed and Hayabusa, no doubt, following. There you go. And they're taking it standard from what I can see. No, slightly different engineering again. First page was standard, and then they changed it out. I wish that everybody would go to like mixed coloured helmets so I could figure out what's going on. Yeah. So it looks like we have a different G build on every other page. So depending upon where they finish up here, that was amazing. I can't even, it took me 4 pages to see what they were doing, Regan.
Yeah, every other page doing a different G.
I know, it's like, wow, it's amazing.
Well, a nice round of applause from everybody watching. It's full house again already at 9:30 for 9:43 into getting towards our 3rd hour of live production. Now, undisputed champions of the world, indoor and outdoor, a masterclass of formation skydiving four-way before your very eyes. Here we go.
Determined face there on Dennis. That's nice fade out. I'm just going to say that they're flying super fast. I'm trying to figure out, it looks like a standard GL EQ. It's just so quick, I can't actually tell what's going on. For those at home, I think I need to watch this at slow-mo to actually tell you what's going on here. Whatever it is, it's quick.
Beautiful to watch. It's incredible skill and talent. Without a doubt, the best four-way team the world has ever seen. Can anybody upset their undisputed record of indoor wins? We shall find out as this day progresses. We're going to take a short break and we'll be back with round 9 of VFS and four-way in the open and the female with Ray and me. We'll see you then.